First I think just personally, mechanically, there's a couple things I was working on. Whether it's my ball carriage in the pocket, just my rhythm, footwork on certain plays, dialing that in. And then, as an offense as a whole, just really, we threw the ball a lot. We got a lot of good reps. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of last week, we got good on good versus the defense. We threw a lot of balls. It was good for our chemistry, good for just getting some of those full speed reps back in, and it was a lot of good work.
Brady, with Texas A&M, they're in the top 10 on defense for third down percentage. Seem to send a lot of pressure on that down. What specifically are they doing there to have success?
Yeah, their third down packages are pretty good. He likes to sub his guys in different packages on third downs. Really all the way across the board, third and short to third and XL, and they've got some great calls, but we've been repping them, we've been practicing them, watching them, and we should be good to go.
Brady, they got a few NFL type guys on their defensive line, Nick Scourt and Shamar Turner. What pops off the tape to you when you see those guys?
Just high motor. Nick Scourton is a heck of a player. Just the way he, one thing I've noticed is the way he reads meshes, quarterback and running back happened versus Arkansas a few times. Whether he's mesh charging, taking the running back, taking the quarterback, it can be confusing. High motor. The way he pass rushes, the way he defends the run, the way he defends zone read. He's a heck of a player.
Brady, we were just talking to Eli about the challenges, your first road trip being at a stadium like Kyle Field. What jumps out to you about maybe the challenges of playing at College Station, especially when you talk about communications as well?
Yeah, I think that's always a challenge on, road SEC games. I think at some point it can only get so loud, after playing at certain stadiums, you can't hear. It's kind of just a part of the experience, part of the challenge. Of helmet communications, if it's too loud to hear, we always have our signals and different ways to get plays in and communicated. So as long as we start fast and we're explosive early, hopefully it'll quiet them down a little bit.
Brady, Coach Jones was just talking to us about red zone offense and third downs there, and that being a point of emphasis in the body. From your perspective, what did that process look like and working on that, and what do you think needs to improve?
Yeah, 100%. We just need to score more touchdowns in the red zone. If you looked at the numbers, I forget what it was, maybe 3 of 10 in like the last 2 or 3 games in the red zone scoring touchdowns. It's hard to win games like that. Luckily we did. So that was a huge emphasis. I think at the end of the day it just comes down to practicing it. We practiced it last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday a ton. Red zone plays, red zone versus defense, a red zone lockout period where it's basically offense versus defense for 3 or 4 rounds, just in the red zone. So we've repped it a ton. I think we're feeling a lot more confident.
Eli mentioned, trying to throw some noise at you in practice. It's obviously not the same as Kyle Field, but what, in your experience, what things in practice have helped, and how does that help you deal with it once you get into the game?
In my opinion, the noise at practice is actually louder. They put these big speakers, pretty much 2 feet right behind me. You can't hear anything. It's loud. In stadiums, it's loud, but it's like a surrounding, kind of more distant loud. So it's a little different. I think it's, just as loud or louder or tougher to communicate. That's great work. We've been doing that every single rep this week. So hopefully the offense and me and Tollison and the rest of the guys are feeling good going into the first series.
Brady, what's your approach when you've got 2 weeks between a game? Are you in the facility every day watching games on the weekend, or do you take a couple days to get away from football?
So I took Friday and Saturday. Those were kind of our off days. Everybody kind of gets out and watch ball like a normal person, and watch college football game day and all that stuff. It was fun. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I had the call sheet out, had the ready list out, and there's always things to be doing on a Friday and Saturday where you can't really turn your mind off of it. That's the reality. You got Texas A&M coming up. Your mind never really turns off.
I know you guys probably have gotten your own reminders of this, but when you see some of the things that happened last weekend, is it good? Hey, college football, weird things happen, and you got to be ready any given day.
Yeah, 100%. I think college football is crazy. There's things that can go down each and every game that you won't expect, and you got to be ready for it. I think at the end of the day, as long as you can, stay calm, battle adversity when it shows up, and trust what you've practiced all week. Whatever happens. There are going to be things that come up, situations that come up, crazy plays that come up. But at the end of the day, you practiced all week, just execute it.
Brady, from the last couple of years of experience, whether it was somewhere like Kentucky or Georgia, I know there's a few more people in Kyle Field than at Kroger Field, for example. But what have you learned about being able to handle a large home crowd, especially when you get down early like you did against Kentucky last year?
Yeah, I think, do your best to act like they're not there, really. At least as a quarterback, when I'm out on the field, there's already a lot going on that I'm focused on. Most of the time I'll come off the field after a series and I'll forget the crowd was even there. Obviously the noise is there, and that's a challenge for communication and different things like that, but as long as we can stay dialed in when we're out there and we're not letting it distract us and we're focused on what we need to be focused on, the noise is the noise, but you score points, still quiet down.
Brady, it sounds like you had a busy bye week, but did you take a chance during this week off to kind of hone in on your focus, flush the last 4 games, and ignore the outside noise?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a big emphasis. Vandy game, and then we had the Sunday and Monday to really watch that tape, recover our bodies, flush it, and by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of last week, we were pushing forward. We had great energy. We were practicing. I was focused. I knew what I needed to improve on and work on that week. And then we got back Sunday, and we hit the ground running on Texas A&M. So the energy's great. My energy's great. We feel really confident moving into this week.
Time for a couple more. Anything else? All right. Thanks, Brady.
Thanks, guys.